Mary Magdalene and the Sacred Feminine, a Forgotten Legacy. Mary Magdalene, a name that echoes through both sacred texts and popular culture, has long been a figure of mystery, devotion, and often misrepresentation. Her story, as told by traditional narratives, is one of redemption, often limited to the archetype of a sinful woman saved by grace. However, Mary Magdalene's true legacy is far richer, deeper, and transformative. She embodies the sacred feminine, a spiritual concept rooted in balance, compassion, and creation. Over centuries, this vital connection to the sacred feminine was suppressed, distorted, and eventually lost amidst patriarchal structures. Today, her rediscovery is not just a reclamation of her personal story, but a beacon for restoring harmony in our lives and spiritual journeys. In this video, we'll uncover Mary Magdalene's profound connection to the sacred feminine, explore why her legacy was eclipsed by history, and examine how its revival carries timely relevance for today. To understand Mary Magdalene's true significance, it's essential to explore the concept of the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine represents qualities deeply rooted in divine energy, intuition, creativity, healing, and compassion. It complements the divine masculine, the counterpart embodying logic, order, and action. Together, these energies form a balanced spiritual framework that has been recognized in countless ancient traditions. Across cultures, the sacred feminine has often been associated with nurturing and wisdom, from the goddesses of Greek and Hindu mythology to the female shamanic figures of indigenous practices. However, as certain religious structures solidified, particularly in patriarchal contexts, this balance gave way to systems that favored masculine dominance while marginalizing feminine qualities. This historical shift doesn't just reflect societal changes, it profoundly affected humanity's collective spiritual journey. Mary Magdalene's story is deeply intertwined with the sacred feminine. Far from the limited role of the repentant sinner as fabricated by later historical accounts, the Gospels present her as a pivotal figure in Jesus' ministry. She is referenced as a dedicated follower, one of the few witnesses of his crucifixion, and the first to encounter the resurrected Christ. Her role wasn't simply that of a bystander, but of a spiritual companion and confidant, someone trusted with profound revelations. Early texts, including the Gnostic Gospel of Mary, offer an alternative view of her role. Here, she is portrayed as a disciple who understands the spiritual teachings of Jesus on a deeper level, even challenging the authority of male disciples like Peter. This depiction aligns with her embodiment of the sacred feminine, wisdom, intuition, and spiritual authority grounded in compassion and connection. Mary Magdalene's close connection to Jesus also raises a compelling possibility. She represented the divine feminine as a partner to his divine masculine. Together, they may have symbolized a balanced spiritual dynamic similar to yin and yang. In this light, her presence was not incidental, but essential to the teachings and transformative power of early Christianity. Mary Magdalene's profound legacy was later painted over by centuries of historical and religious distortions. In the year 591, Pope Gregory I reinterpreted her role, conflating Mary Magdalene with other women in the Bible. He labeled her as a prostitute, a grave mischaracterization that has haunted her image ever since. This alteration was not accidental. It reflected a broader societal trend, the deliberate marginalization of female figures in religious narratives. By redefining Mary Magdalene as a sinner, patriarchal forces in the church effectively diminished her spiritual leadership and glossed over her vital contributions to early Christianity. This distortion wasn't limited to Mary Magdalene herself. It is part of a larger historical pattern in which the feminine, whether divine or mortal, was systematically suppressed. By erasing her connection to the sacred feminine, history also erased a cornerstone of humanity's spiritual heritage, replacing balance with hierarchical inequality. The sidelining of Mary Magdalene can't be fully understood without examining the erasure of the sacred feminine itself. Early Christianity didn't exist in isolation. It emerged in a world where female deities, priestesses, and spiritual leaders had long been integral to religious practices. The Virgin Mary retained a portion of this reverence, but much of the sacred feminine was pushed to the margins, with Mary Magdalene's demotion being a key example. As male-dominated hierarchies gained influence, religion became an institution that often favored the divine masculine while sidelining feminine energy. The imbalance wasn't just theological, it infiltrated societal structures, shaping everything from gender roles to governance. The divine feminine's association with intuition, healing, and transformative creativity became undervalued while stark hierarchies took its place. This erasure had wide-reaching consequences. It created a world where logical dominance trumped emotional intelligence and control overshadowed connection. The suppression of the sacred feminine left humanity spiritually unbalanced, echoing in modern-day inequalities and ecological crises. In recent decades, new discoveries and interpretations have rekindled interest in Mary Magdalene's true role. The Gnostic Gospel of Mary, unearthed in the 19th century, portrays her as a confidant of Jesus and bearer of esoteric wisdom. This text reveals a Mary Magdalene who holds profound spiritual insights, often instructing and even challenging male disciples. Further, scholars and theologians have acknowledged the possibility of her leadership during the formative years of Christianity. In the early church, it's believed that she may have championed principles of inclusion and unity, reflecting the sacred feminine's role as a mediator and healer. These rediscoveries are reshaping her legacy, aligning it with the broader search for the wisdom of the sacred feminine. They suggest that her teachings, leadership, and spiritual essence were deliberately suppressed, not because they were unimportant, but because they clashed with patriarchal visions of faith and power. In a world often defined by division, competition, and ecological imbalance, rediscovering the sacred feminine feels more urgent than ever. Patriarchal systems, which favor hierarchy and domination, have left humanity struggling to reconnect with its more intuitive and interconnected side. The sacred feminine offers an alternative, a vision of balance, where cooperation and creativity thrive alongside logic and structure. Mary Magdalene's story is a powerful reminder of what was lost. Her teachings, and by extension the sacred feminine, emphasize healing through connection, emotional intelligence over domination, and harmony rather than competition. These qualities are essential not only for spiritual growth, but for addressing social inequalities and environmental challenges. In personal terms, reconnecting with the sacred feminine can help individuals foster deeper relationships, embrace self-compassion, and navigate the complexities of modern life with grace. While its resurgence has often been associated with feminist spirituality, its message carries universal resonance, offering everyone, regardless of gender, a path toward wholeness. Mary Magdalene's story, when viewed through the lens of the sacred feminine, offers a spiritually transformative perspective. She becomes more than a misunderstood historical figure. She emerges as a guide to reawakening balance in the spiritual and earthly realms. Her legacy invites reflection on several key aspects. Holistic leadership. By embracing both wisdom and compassion, the masculine and feminine within each individual can work in harmony. Equality and inclusion. Her role challenges traditional hierarchies, advocating for a spiritual path rooted in partnership rather than power struggles. Healing through presence. Mary Magdalene's actions remind us that profound change begins within, through intuition, love, and connection to divine energy. As a symbol of the sacred feminine, Mary Magdalene inspires modern seekers to challenge rigid dogmas and reconnect with a faith that values balance and authenticity. What can we do today to reclaim Mary Magdalene's connection to the sacred feminine? It begins with acknowledgement, recognizing how societal and institutional forces redefined her story to erase the divine feminine from spiritual discourse. This reclamation calls for both historical curiosity and spiritual openness. Engage with the texts and interpretations that restore her rightful place, such as the Gospel of Mary or feminist theological studies. Reflect on how her example can inspire compassion and collaboration in your own life. Finally, seek out traditions and practices that honor both the sacred feminine and masculine in balance, whether through meditation, community building, or advocacy for equality. Reclaiming Mary Magdalene's legacy also means charting new paths for spirituality. By embracing her story, you contribute to a larger movement of restoring harmony in a world that urgently needs it. Mary Magdalene's connection to the sacred feminine is more than a story of rediscovery. It's a call to action. It reminds us of values that transcend dogma, compassion, wisdom, and balance. Her erasure was a loss not just for women but for humanity as a whole. Yet her reemergence is a source of hope. By revisiting her legacy, we tap into long-suppressed wisdom that can heal the divisions of today's world. Mary Magdalene and the sacred feminine are not relics of the past. They are timeless guides, urging us toward a more harmonious and holistic future. Let her story inspire us to rebuild what was lost, rekindle balance, and rediscover the sacred unity within and around us.